Hey friends, my name's Aaron Ciotti. Everybody calls me Ciotti. Usually I do a better job of finding the end of my flying with somewhere in the song that makes sense, but hey, didn't happen tonight. You'll live. What's up, people? Thanks for coming. Welcome to Friday Q&A. Spaceman Spiff was first. Crom, Troy Prelog, Doubles FPV, Titan, Douglas 6, Curtis Hayes again, Rockcrawler, Cloudhopper, Cactus, Shannon, Mindy Hale, Northern Tier, Uriel, Great Scott, Frank Nicholas, Smoking Dog, Cujo, Scotty Scott, Hockey Rounds, Andrew Taylor, Dave S, Soap Legend 123. What's up, friends? That was the 2S Walksnail rig. Still has the battery sitting in it, actually. On the Beta FPV 1102, 18,000, motor limited down to 85%. I've now got 4 batteries that I've flown on these motors. I'm going to swap them out to different motors, but what I realized is, I can't believe I just realized this now, but the you get no OSD in the DVR from Walksnail, which, okay, I mean, kind of cool because you don't have ugly OSD in there, but I would actually rather have OSD and then I can turn it off with my switch. I can't believe I didn't. I'm only just noticing this now. But yeah, so I use the post-flight stats to tell me a lot about what just happened, runtime, maximum RPM, all that good stuff. So I at least want to put one more battery through this rig with these motors and write down or call out the post-flight stats on the OSD. We could do that tonight. I could hook the Walksnail goggles up, and then we could fly one battery around the house, take a look at the runtime, the maximum RPM, and then we could switch this over to one of the other frames with the other motors and fly another battery. That's certainly something we can do. I don't think I'm going to try all three tonight, but we can do that kind of, yeah, fly a battery or two as it stands. That would give us 6 batteries total, and then swap it over and fly a battery or two on this or this, whichever one. And then I go off and I fly another 4, 6, or 8 on this, and then we come back to another stream, fly a couple batteries, swap it over, fly another couple, right? That way you guys will get a couple of heads-to-heads, and it'll help me. It'll just be a little kick in the ass for me to keep switching this thing. Like, it flies so good on these motors that yeah, there's not a lot of motivation to keep kind of testing. But if that happens during streams, it's kind of like, well, I can't escape, which is a good thing. So yeah, I don't know if you guys want to do that, but we certainly can. That will not take very long, and it'll actually help me because you guys can call it out and type it into the chat, and then tonight we're going to be talking about the iFlight Blitz 5 amp AIO. What's his name? Old man with a quad? I think it's old man with quads. Old man with a quad. With a quad or with quads? Oh, come on, Discord. It is. Is it Mac? I think it's no. Yep, it's Mac. What's the name that he goes by? Hold on. I'm pretty sure it's old man with a quad. W5 RTM. Where is he? Come on. There it is. I can't find it. I'm pretty sure it's Old Man with a Quad, but it's Mac. Shout out to Mac. He sent over a box of stuff, and there were a bunch of these iFlight Blitz AIOs in there. And so I'd been meaning to build them into a couple of rigs, because I did fly them around, and they perform totally fine. They have a board that's pinned to the back. Are you kidding me? I can't find it. He wrote it down in the box, but then I threw away the box. So, yeah, I finally had a chance. Yesterday, the bug got me. And I put together a couple of rigs with these AIOs. And so we've got a little bit of dialing in to do. But what's cool is I can show you guys, if you've got two totally identical kind of setups, how you can save a bunch of time by doing... I mean, at this point, you can just click buttons. You used to have to do fancy CLI commands. Not all that fancy, but yeah, nowadays you can just load back, like save your backup and then load that backup onto another one. And then I'll kind of talk to you about and show you how I would change one versus the other. Because there are differences between these builds. This guy is on 36,000 kV motors. This one is on... Are they 32s? Yep, 32,500s. So we'll talk about like what what you're going to want to do differently between those two. And then we've also got one on 802 25,000s. I'm going to put on the Etsy store like a beginner setup, basically, with the stone stock iFlight. It's going to come with 2 extra frames and 1 extra camera pod with camera in it. So very cool little kind of starter setup. And these motors that it's going to come with are the old school Happy Model 802 25,000s that you can get like everywhere and anywhere. So yeah, talk about that one, what we're going to change on there. And then the last one is a 75 millimeter build with those same motors, the 802 25,000s. And for some reason, I have not put the camera onto this yet. Oh, because I need the antenna. Wait a second. Where'd I put that antenna? I just snapped that antenna onto something. Where'd it go? Ah! What? It was here 14 seconds ago. I put it onto that one. I need another antenna. So yeah, 4 different builds, and then they're gonna go up on. I think I just want to put them up on Etsy. I mean, do you guys like the? We've done a couple of live auctions. Should we do that for 1 or 2 of them? Maybe we do a live auction for the green one. That's 36,000 kV. That's kind of got the most modifications done to it. And I'm sacrificing a Mobula 6 canopy and Runcam Nano 3. Actually, there's 2 of them that are getting that camera setup. So maybe those are the ones that get a little bit of extra love, and I do a little live auction of them. That makes sense, doesn't it? So yeah, maybe we'll do that. I don't know if we'll do that tonight. I don't know if I'll have time. Bed Bath & Beyond, Home Depot, you know. I don't know if I'll have time. What movie is that from? Somebody help me out. That's from a that is Will Ferrell, and that is from the movie where he goes back to college. Oh! I'm a genius for figuring this out, but just give me a second and I'll figure it out. Ah, screw it. Somebody tell me in chat. What movie is that from? It's from the movie where, yeah, he forms a frat. Goes back to college and forms a fraternity, and they get up to hijinks. Old school, that's it. Thank you. Nice little weekend. Nice little weekend. Storm report. I stayed up until 5 a.m. expecting there to be... Maggie comes down here all firing on all cylinders. Blah, blah, blah. The weather person says we're not going to get 110 mile an hour winds anymore. We're only going to get 60 mile an hour winds. I'm like, yo, I've been through hurricanes in Charleston with like more than 30 or 40 mile an hour winds. It's insane. It's like we're going to die. So I was all freaked out. And so I stayed up, and that was dumb. We got no wind at all. We just got rain. And it was like useless rain too. It was absolutely nothing. Not a thing. Like, there have been thunderstorms here that have been worse. It was just silly. So, but that's obviously a really good thing. Well, if I put this canopy on here, I'm gonna have to cut the ass of this canopy off. I'll show you. This will be cool. I'll show you how to do it. I'll show you how to set the old school Mobula 6 canopy up for this iFlight Blitz AIO. So we'll do like a partial build, and then these 3 just need to be put through Betaflight, and then we'll fly them. I'll fly a battery or 2 on each of them. And, yeah, that'll be cool. This one uses a wacky canopy and camera. Look at that. Odd little setup. This is an iFlight frame, which is very, very, very similar to the old school newbie drone cockroach frame. And then these 2 I put onto Cockroach 65 V3 frames. This one even has a little no duct in view kind of setup going. So if you want to chase, and that's kind of why I did the motors like this. This guy has 32,500 kV motors. It's going to get awesome throttle resolution. This is a more freestyle rig with this canopy, and it's got 36,000 kV motors. So yeah, that's sort of the thought process that went into each one of them. We'll get to take a look at a couple of different cameras. God only knows what this iFlight camera is. This has a Razor Nano Pico, whatever the hell it is, camera, and then this has the Runcam Nano 3. The little, as I call them, drift car chasing rigs. 18.5 grams. Damn. Not bad. 18 and a half. There's no props on it yet, but wow, 17.7. This guy's really light. I don't understand why this is always heavier. Is this TPU really that heavy? Hey, also, check this out. I'm gonna build another 65 millimeter Walksnail rig, but I'm gonna use the heavier camera. And what the heavier Walksnail camera, which is better quality. And what I realized is that that's gonna make it really nose heavy. And so what I also realized I'm going to do is run 450 mAh batteries on it and put them in from the front. So put the battery lead, reverse the AIO, battery lead up front. And what that's going to do is it's going to allow me to push the battery really far rearward to offset the weight of the camera in the front. And when I do that, it's going to be hard to show you guys, but when I do that, the CG is almost perfect. If I take the battery off and reverse it, like I normally would, right? Like I would normally do this build. By the way, the way that I'm hanging this battery off of here is that Newbie Drone for the Cockroach V3 frame, they have this little TPU jibbo jabbo that pulls on here. So what I'm also going to do, I think, is run the AIO on the bottom of this thing, which should be a total nightmare, but we'll see. So I'm going to run the AIO under the frame, and then I'll put the Walksnail VTX on the top set of standoffs. So that'll be terrible. So with the battery, as I normally would, with it like this, right? When I go to balance it, it just won't. The CG is too far forwards with the extra weight of that battery shoved forward and the camera, right? So yeah, this should be kind of cool. I've been meaning to do one of these builds using the posts on the bottom and the posts on the top. But what I did realize is that the in terms of the top to bottom, so hold on, where is it? Where the hell is it? I can't find it, but we'll just use this one as an example. Just pretend that this is a Walksnail version of this build. If you look at the center of gravity in terms of the prop line, right? So you've got your front to rear center of gravity. You've got your left to right center of gravity. Left to right center of gravity is almost always dialed in, unless you've lost your mind and you decide to toilet tank your battery, and then your life is going to suck. But yeah, left to right is never really much of an issue. Hold on, let me tighten this screw up. Front to back can be an issue, but a lot of times with the front to back CG, there's not a whole lot that you can do. The rig that I was just talking about, there is something we can do, right? And so we've figured out. But there's also the Z-axis, I guess it would be, center of gravity, which is based around the prop line. You want to try to spread an equal amount of weight above the prop line and an equal amount of weight below the prop line. And so what I eventually realized is that with a camera and canopy setup, I really need that other... Here. This'll just pretend this is a 65. The top to bottom center of gravity is important, and so stacking up the second VTX up on top is actually not bad because it's putting some weight up above. If you look at all these builds, they are very bottom heavy, right? You've got the battery all the way. Here's the prop line. The prop line is even with the ducts. You've got the heavy ass battery below. You've got the majority of the motor that's below the prop line. And a lot of times the AIO is either dead even or slightly below the prop line. So we don't have much above the prop line to offset that, to give it a balanced CG top to bottom. And so having a canopy, having an antenna, having a camera, and having that second VTX board be slightly above the prop line actually helps things a little bit. So this build that I'm looking at doing here is actually going to be very bottom heavy. But I'm doing that so that I can fix the front to rear. The center of gravity on this axis is not as important as like a terrible imbalance on the pitch axis. And so, yeah, I could, I have to run these loops to hang the battery low because I want to run a 450 battery. Technically, I could forego that and run a 300 mAh battery inside the build and then just do the regular stack that I've been doing. But then the problem would be the battery is going to hit this camera mount, right? I'm trying to slide. I need to be able to slide this battery in there. So yeah, it's interesting. We'll see. We'll see how this goes. I don't even know if running the 450 battery is a good idea. I'm trying to get more runtime out of it. This might make it so heavy that it really doesn't work. If it does, if this battery ends up making this thing too heavy, what I think that I'll do is take those loops off, take the Batwing camera mount, flip it upside down. When you flip the Batwing upside down, it does give you room to slide a battery down. Well, here, so you can kind of tell there. See how the camera gets in the way? See that in the middle here. See that black? That's the back of the camera. If I take this Batwing mount, see how it's flat on the top? Take it and flip it. The camera will move up a little bit, and then I'll be able to slide a 300 mAh battery through here. At that point, I'll have to top mount the stack. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. But that's a thought that I had in order to try to get this center of gravity kind of balanced at the same time as using this the bigger, higher quality. Also 4x3. This is also a 4x3 camera. Does this camera record the gyro data? Is there a way of getting gyro data on a Walksnail light setup so that I can run RC drift car footage through GyroFlow? Oh shit, I didn't really think of that. So that might be another added benefit of this, but we'll see. We'll see. That was a crazy midnight thought that I had. In the chat, if you'd like to talk to me, all you got to do is type @CiottiFPV, or you can just type CiottiFPV, either or. You can also head over to my website. Just put a .com on the end. Patreon helps me out the most, and this coming Monday, we've got 4 giveaways. 3 of those giveaways are for patrons. So right now is an amazing time to bump up, at the very least, from the $3 to the $5 tier. That will get you entered into the Tiny Whoop giveaways. If you have an extra couple bucks and you don't fly Tiny Whoops as much as you fly 3-inch rigs or 5-inch rigs, there's a $10 a month and even a $20 a month tier for you to jump onto. If you fly everything and you want to be a super supporter, there's a $1 a day tier. That'll enter you into all 3 of those giveaways on the first Monday of every month. Each one of those giveaways have anywhere between $50 and $100 worth of stuff, so it's a good deal. Eventually you'll win, and that'll pay for a whole bunch of months of your Patreon. Etsy has some really fun stuff. Lots more being added every few days. A bunch of builds are up there that have been upgraded and tuned by me. And then a ton of other really fun stuff. And there's a lot more stuff coming. Fiverr on Fiverr, you can work one-on-one with me. Take advantage of 8 years of experience in FPV. Help you fly better, tune better, build better. And then Teespring has some really fun shirts and whatnot. PayPal, if you want to do a super chat and just directly support me, maybe add something to the Treats for Teddy fund, and you don't want YouTube to take 30%, you can also do a super chat, whichever. If you do a PayPal, though, make sure in the chat you say, yo, CiottiFPV, check your email, because you deserve a shout out for supporting me. And then lots of affiliate links. You should be using someone's affiliate links on every order you place. Amazon, Get FPV, Pyro Drone, Race Day Quads, Newbie Drone, Weebly Lead, Beta FPV, FPV Cycle, Oh My God, Brain 3D, HD0, Flywoo, Emacs, Banggood, Camera Butter, AliExpress. Replace your bookmarks with someone's affiliate links, yo. If you don't use bookmarks, you can delete your suggestions. Like if you just type AMA to go to Amazon, you can delete the suggestion that your browser is making, and then hit my Amazon link a couple times, and it'll think that when you type AMA, you want to go to my Amazon link, which takes you to the old nut grabber. So there you go. That's how you support me without it being a pain in the ass. In the chat, Crom tagged me and said, do you know the weight of the Air 75 frame? Is it different to the Meteor 75 Air frame? No, they're the same. Not sure if lighter. No info on Google that I could find. Nope, they're the same frame. I do not have one. I do not have one that doesn't have motors in it. But you can probably reverse engineer the weight of one, because I do have one somewhere. Oh shit, maybe I don't. I do not. I thought that I had a couple of those frames, and then they kind of vanished. I don't necessarily know where they went. But yeah, no, the Air 75 frame is the same. It's the Air 75 frame. Yeah, I have it on that build there. I have it on that build there too, but those are like full builds, so that's not going to do any good. But yeah, I bet you on Beta FPV's website they've got a weight on the 75 airframe. Let's see, super quick like Meteor 75 Air brushless whoop frame. 4.45 grams. There you go. 4.45. Drones, accessories, electronics. Is there a frame section? Make sure it's not two different ones. Yeah, no, it's the same one. Meteor 75 Air. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Light Sail says, "Been watching your streams while working as of late. Really love your content. Hope you enjoy making it as much as we enjoy consuming it." I do indeed, Light Sail. It is my pleasure to drop as much knowledge on you guys as I can for a living. It's crazy that I'm able to do that, and I don't. That is not lost on me, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Look at this, yo. Here comes our next t-shirt design. Hold on. So we're gonna go here. And all right, so I'm gonna do this like a straight up caveman, but it's gonna be okay. We're gonna do that, and then I'm going to cut caveman shit, and then we're gonna. Oh, where's it gonna paste though? Yep. Okay. How do I grab that layer? Oh, okay. I can just. Nope. I need to be in this tool. Okay. And then so I want to go back to the marquee tool, and then I'm going to go here, and we're going to go yep, that's it. And then we're going to What? Why did it tell me that? Selected area is obviously not empty. What are you saying? What? Oh, I'm on the wrong layer. Okay, so we want to do that. Hey, there we go. And then we're going to paste that. Come up here to this tool. Go like that. And then come Come over here, grab this layer. Look how easy Photoshop is, yo. Oh! Shit, that looks good. I'm going to grab the eraser. And I'm going to just erase that and that. Because then I can go like... Oops, shit. I can go like that. Oh, nope. Like that. There we go. Wait, what? I didn't have... Yep, there it is. And then I can just go here and just grab a chunk of this yellow. Copy it this... Oh, copy it this time. And paste it. Oh boy. Where is it? Where'd that layer go? Oh shit. There it is. There it is. Hey! Oh. Oh, you fart. Oh, you fart, you. Hold on. That's kind of dumb. I did not get that right. I need to get it. One brick. Brick. Great. One brick taller. So if I go like that. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's fine. So then copy that. On the wrong layer. Copy that. And then I can come over here and then paste and go back to this tool and just move it around. Ah! Oh, you know what? These two words are too far apart now, aren't they? Oh, they are. They're too far apart. Shit. What I actually want to do is grab this word and move it closer. Is this thrilling? Are you guys thrilled right now? Look, man. You're getting the goddamn preview of the next t-shirt. Did I forget to tell you that part? That's what we're doing here. This gonna be the next t-shirt. So what I'm gonna do is cut that shit. Oh, fart. We're gonna cut it. No, that's copy. That's cut. What? What was that? Why did that happen? What? No, I want the whole thing. What are you doing that for? I want the whole thing. Give me the whole thing. There we go. Cut. Why is it doing that? Oh, because it's on different layers. I can flatten this. I think I want to flatten this. Flatten. Okay, and then I can take that. What? What was that about? Why did that happen? What? Ah, right. Right. There we go. Yep. But it's not quite right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that's there. And then I want to take calibrometer and I want to pull that backwards. So, not backwards. Pull that to the left, I should say. So we're going to go here. And I'm going to select the correct layer because I'm a professional. Do that. Do this. V for the pointer tool. And now we got one more thing. We want to come in here. Grab a block. Copy it. Wrong layer. Correct layer. Copy. Paste. V tool. Come on. Where is it? It's coming. Moving it to the right. Where is it? Where's that layer? Oh, fart. Oh, there it is. What? Where'd it go? There it is. Yeah! There's that. And then... This is some dark shit right here that we're doing. There we go! Black magic! Now we're talking. And that, my friends, is the next t-shirt. Save. Wait, no. I can just do regular save. Because I did such a good job. Accelerate calibrometer t-shirt. Now let's save a copy. Save it on the desktop. What do they want? PNG probably? They probably want PNG. There it is. Were you guys not entertained? Save a copy. T-shirt. And then let's also give them a PDF. Where the hell's PDF? Where are you at, PDF? There you are. All right, there it is, yo. We did it. We did it together. Don't save. You and I did it together. It looks like it's off center. Is it off center? Look at this. Ready? Ah, you fart. It is a little bit off. It's off to the left a little bit. God damn it, Jim. How did that happen? How did it get... Oh, I know why that happened. I mean, on one hand, nobody will notice. On the other hand, I'll notice. And I now know how to fix it, so maybe I might fix that. Probably not, but I might. You never know. Limit says, what's special about this AIO? What is this AIO? Yamasaur says, you can use blackbox logging to sync Walksnail up with GyroFlow. Yeah, I mean, I guess. What a pain in the ass, though. You got to plug the rig in. You got to put it into donkey mode. You got to go to the desktop. That's super annoying. Some of the Walksnail cameras have gyros built into them, and they record the gyro data for you. Who knows which Walksnail cameras do that? Anybody? Rockworth says, what's your opinion on enamel wire for Whoop motor wire? It's a bit much, is my opinion. First of all, you can't then run a motor connector, which I'm immediately like turned off. But also, like, I don't know, it just seems also awful fragile. Maybe it's not, but it feels like a pain in the ass. If you're willing to direct solder your motor wires, on one hand, you kind of might as well, because it's going to save you some weight. And if you're going to have direct soldered motors, you want to be as light as possible so that hopefully during crashes you don't bang the motors up and then have to rip the entire rig apart to swap the motors out. So, but yeah, I'm not a direct soldered motor kind of guy. Curtis Hayes says, when do you buy a 4x3 versus a 16x9 analog camera? Is this situational, personal preference? Always. If there's ever an option for 4x3 versus 16x9, you should take it. 4x3 is a better ratio for flying. We want as much vertical resolution as we can possibly get. The extra width does us pretty much no good. So yeah, always get 4x3 over 16x9. And then if you need 16x9, you can just chop the top and the bottom off. Versus if you have a 16x9 and you chop the sides off, it's just not, yeah, you're not maximizing that vertical field of view. You know, the more vertical field of view allows you to fly faster and slower because there's a little bit more on the top of the screen, a little bit more on the bottom of the screen. And that's much more important than additional width. Crom says they are not the same. That's why I'm asking if you look at the Air 75 Whoop, the spoke design is different, so a different mold, hence the wondering. Interesting. Why the hell would they do that? What's wrong with the regular one? Meteor 75 Air. That's pulling up the frame. Oh, it put the word frame in even though I didn't want it. There's the frame. There's the... Really? Come on. Where's the actual bind and fly? Oh my god, is this real life? Drones! Air Series. Air 75. Spokes look the same to me. Hold on. I mean, they've got it flipped upside down. Oh, yeah, look at that. Boy, is that subtle. Yeah, they've rotated the spokes, right? So this one here, you've got outside, outside. And now watch, ready? They've rotated that. There's not an outside, outside here. They've rotated it inwards. Why the hell would they do that? That is, like, that's a whole new mold. Why on earth? Wow, I'm confused. Oh my god, look, they fixed the spelling of my name. I'm now CiottiFPV rather than CiottiFPV. Oh shit. That's pretty awesome. They claim that it's the Air 75 frame. They claim that it's the same frame. Is it maybe the transparent ones that are different? No. Wow, that is super weird. That is super weird that they changed the frame. What the hell? Weird choice. I mean, this is just a 3D render here. So, I mean, technically speaking, maybe in this 3D render, they did it wrong. Can anybody confirm that? Did anybody out there have the Air 75? Can you confirm that the frame is different than this? It does not have that. It's they've rotated the motor mount in this 3D render, at least. They've rotated the motor mount. No, they haven't. The motor mount's the same, but they've rotated where the standoffs are. That is super weird. It looks like that's the only thing that they've changed. I'm gonna guess that this 3D render is wrong. I'm gonna take it. Well, there goes that, because this is not a render now. I mean, I guess that could be a render, but that would be an awful lot of work to do to render this. Wow, that's very weird. That's very, very, very weird that they would change the design. Man. They've said that they're going to send me an Air 75, so when it gets here, maybe I'll tear it all apart and weigh the frame. No promises, though. Gusto FPV says, just tuned in, still drying out from the hurricane here in Tampa. Yeah, how was it, dude? It was all tight and spinny, and then as soon as it got like halfway through Georgia, it just went like, and we got nothing here in North Georgia. Off Axis says, calibrate your Ciotti meter. Off Axis also says, just cut the orange smaller. Yeah. I know what I screwed up now. Limit says, iFlight Blitz AIO. What's special about it? Nothing. I have 4 of them. That's what's special about it. And like, you know, in the forever attempt to find a good AIO, I don't necessarily think this is like the preferred AIO, but it seems to be totally fine. It's a little bit heavier, mainly because it's got a separate board for the VTX. Let's just dive in and I'll show you. So let's pull up this little camera, and the easiest one to kind of look at is going to be this guy. So this AIO is cut down to be smaller on the corners here. So this AIO will work in pretty much any frame, right? Any of those beta FPV frames that get really tight on some of the square-shaped boards here, this iFlight Blitz board will work on. But the main question mark about this board is this individual VTX, which is pinned. Where are the pins? There's the pin header. You see it down there? See it on the left there? So it is a pinned VTX. What I will say is that there, you can really see it. If it'll focus, which it probably won't. There it goes. There's a little pin header. Yeah, you can really see it there. Luckily, it's a nice lightweight VTX that's pinned, so it might survive forever. What we've found in the past is that when you pin a flight controller, an entire 20x20 flight controller, for example, on top of an ESC, that doesn't work. The weight of that flight controller is too much, and on crashes it wiggles, and it eventually breaks those pins. This VTX is very small and very light. They've also put a big blob of something or other. It looks like a white E6000 or something. See it down in between these? So they've not glued, but they've adhered this VTX to the AIO. And that could potentially take up the slack of the pins, and it could hold it solid enough. I have no idea. Has anyone out there run 100 batteries on this iFlight Blitz AIO to see if it's durable down in the long run? Let me know. Let us know. But I'm going to dive into setting these guys up. And so we've got 36,000 kV motors. I might as well throw some props at these. So we've got 36,000 kV motors on that one. And then we've got 32,500s on this one for chasing. Cinematic analog rig. So 1210s, and then let's go all red and white on this one. Do some of these, yeah. Throw these HQ props on here. Actually, does anybody have any experience with the iFlight Blitz AIO? There's the real question. So high right. I need a high left. I got it, and I need another high left. There we go. I got to do a Weebly order one of these days. I'm starting to run out of their magical custom dyed red stuff. Brandon's Baked Beans does. What do you think about it, Brandon? Is it any good? And then 36,000, we're gonna put these bi-blades on because KV life. That's why. High left, and then high right. What's everybody doing on this lovely Friday? Anybody building? Ooh, that's one that I drilled out. Look at that nonsense. How did I pick that up twice in a row? High right. Where the hell is a prop that the leading edge is high on the right side? There it is. That one is not drilled out. Apparently, I put back into this bag a few of these props that I drilled out to be 1.5 millimeters. Pads in the quarters for the motors suck to solder. That's okay. It's got motor pads on it. Well, mine at least. Oh, yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, I would not want to direct solder motors onto this thing. Those are tiny little pads. Yeah. Uriel says, I'm flying sim on the other monitor. Liftoff. Very cool. Very, very cool. All right. Props in, of course, because we've got the prop guards. So actually, let's talk about it because it's not an obvious thing to everyone. The reason why we went props out as an FPV community many years ago was that we were flying mainly 5-inch rigs and we wanted to crash through Scraggle. And what we realized is that when you're crashing through Scraggle being small sticks and whatnot, if the front propellers are spinning outwards like this, it will push some of the little branches away, and then you can keep flying forward. These are tiny whoops. If a branch hits one of these, it just hits the duct. So there's no reason, so that reason for props out does not apply to tiny whoops. There was, back in the early days of tiny whooping, before brushless, there was a situation where if you were yawing and rolling, it would try to roll and yaw on the outside rear motor. And that would overload that motor and it would drop out of the sky, damn near. Now that we've got more powerful motors, that issue is no longer a thing. The original Betaflight was designed to be props in. The original quads were very underpowered. And there seems to be something about props in that works better aerodynamically for underpowered quads. The best example of this is if you take pretty much any Cinewhoop, which are pretty similar to a tiny whoop, right? It's got guards, it's got a weird aerodynamic situation, right? If you take a Cinewhoop and you go from props out to props in, it flies significantly better. I just put these propellers on the wrong quad. It flies significantly better, and the one thing that it does way better is drop altitude. When you go zero throttle with a Cinewhoop, a lot of times they don't want to drop altitude. They want to just like kind of hang there in the air, and you'll hear them spin up even though you're zero throttle. And when you go props in on a Cinewhoop, that behavior almost completely goes away. It's like magic. And I swear to God, they fly better in all, like when you're just flying them around, I swear they feel better with props in. I have not like back to that to kind of check it. I when I first went props in, I flew the thing 100 feet in the air and I chopped the throttle and it just fell. And I was like, oh, okay, props in for life on Cinewhoops. Like it was so drastically better at dropping altitude. And then as I was flying it around more, I was kind of like, I think it flies better in like kind of all scenarios. But like the fact that it dropped altitude so much better, I was like, cool, that's enough. Like if it's just that it does better, that's plenty. I'm leaving these props in because again, the main benefit of props out, pushing sticks away, is not there as soon as you have a guard or a duct around the propellers. And so yeah, props in for life. I've been moving all of my prop guarded, ducted, whatever rigs to props in over the last like year and a half. Massive shout out to UAV Tech, Mark Spatz, for kind of figuring that out, figuring out that Cinewhoops really like props in. He put a video up a while ago about he was helping a customer out tune a Cinewhoop, and he could not get the damn thing to drop altitude. Every time he would chop the throttle, it would wind up, and it would just want to travel forward instead of fall straight down. And yeah, somehow he realized that going to props in made a massive difference. And then I heard him say that and went, "Oh my God!" and started shouting it from the rafters. He's got like one video about it. I've been talking about it on like everything I've done for the last year. Every time Cinewhoops come up, I try to mention it because most people don't know about it. And it's like real. It's for real. The people that I've turned on to that actually fly Cinewhoops a good amount have gotten back to me and been like, "Holy shit, dude, it makes such a difference. What is the deal here?" And I don't know. I don't know what the deal is, but there's something going on. There's something going on aerodynamically. What I find absolutely hysterical is that The Betaflight devs originally set Betaflight up for props in, and it was set up for props in for a long time. They never said, hey, it's because the aerodynamic situation that these quads are in functions better when the column of thrust goes towards the inside in the front. There was none of that. But for a long time, the Betaflight default was props in. And again, early days of Betaflight, these things were very underpowered. I really do think that it has something to do with when these are underpowered, there's some aerodynamic advantage to props in versus props out. I'll bet that like the Betaflight devs didn't rent out a wind tunnel for the day to figure that out. I'll bet they've just done, well, I mean, I know that they've done an unbelievable amount of testing, and I'll bet that one day they were like, hey, we got to figure out what the default is going to be, props out or props in. Let's fly 20 batteries back to back, set one way and the other set the other way, and see if there's one that performs better. And lo and behold, back then, props in performed better, and away they went. I'm not sure of that, but I'll bet you that's pretty much exactly what happened. And then over the years, as the motor technology and the props got better and the powertrains went higher voltage, that need for props in, because the powertrain didn't have enough oomph, kind of went away. And that's a good thing, right? That means that we're able to have options now, which is rad. So yeah, there you go. There's props out versus props in. This motor is not sitting flat for some strange reason. Whoop, there it goes. Come on. Get back. Get back there. Oh, God. This is the clone popper from Tiny Whoop. It is my favorite of them. It's got the skinniest little... I don't know what that part's called. Whatever that bottom part is called. It's nice and skinny. I'm going to drill this prop out just a little bit more. One of the great things about the Gemfan 1210 biblades is that the inner diameter of the prop mounting hole is just perfect. It's exactly the right size. These HQ ultralight tri-blades need a little bit of love from a 0.99 millimeter drill bit, or else they fit too tight on the motor shafts, and they can really do a number on your motors. If you don't have a 0.99 millimeter drill bit, I do, and I have them for sale. They're $5 each. They'll be on my Etsy store at some point. If you need one sooner than that, just message me. All my contact info is up on CiottiFPV.com. Send me a message, yo. I need a 0.99 millimeter drill bit. Do me a huge favor though, because shipping costs me like $4.32 or something like that. Go to my Etsy store and find something else that you want, and PayPal me $10 instead of just $5. Like, help me not, because I paid for those drill bits too, right? And I paid more than $1 per. So do me a favor, find something else on my Etsy to buy, so that you're sending me $10 so that I can at least not lose money on the little 0.99 millimeter drill bits. Get a sticker, there's all kinds of stuff up there. Shoot me a message if you have any questions. Thrash FPV says, love the incoming shirt. Awesome. Uriel says, later I'm going bleaching. What the hell does that mean? Thrash FPV also says, what version of Betaflight do you think became acceptable for mass use? 2.0, 3.0? Maybe 3.5.7, but no. 3.2, I remember 3.2 being like flying really well. 3.5.7 was like awesome. That was, you know, it's funny. 3.5.7 was like the same level of development as KISS still has to this day. Not KISS Ultra. KISS Ultra has a couple of extra things that Betaflight has added a long time ago. But yeah, like old school KISS is basically just Betaflight 3.5.7 with zero development over the next few years, which is hysterical. But it also shows you how good 3.5.7 flew. You know, up until very recently, one of the best pilots in the world essentially still flew that. I would actually argue that it's worse. That 3.5.7 is better. But yeah, half decent filtering and a PID controller will do some amazing things if you get them dialed in properly. Justmo says waiting in line. Really? Waiting in line to get into Canada. Jesus. AntBVTHC says, should I use VRX on 04X Pros for Walksnail or get actual Walksnail goggles? If you want more comfortable goggles, get actual Walksnail goggles. That's about it. Yeah, hanging the VRX off the front of another set of goggles is going to make them significantly less comfortable. If that's not a big deal to you, then that's amazing. Unfortunately, it is for me. I hate wearing uncomfortable goggles. It drives me mad. And I tried that with HD0. I tried the VRX on the front, and it just made the goggles too uncomfortable. They were always feeling like they were trying to pivot off my face, and so I went tighter and tighter and tighter with the head strap, and then that started to like really push here on the bottom, right? As you pull the goggles in, like they're still trying to pull up to rotate off the front, but then you're pulling them onto your face, so you're putting a lot of pressure here, and it's just like, I would take the goggles off and I would have like nasty red lines here, which already kind of happens on digital goggles because they're all significantly heavier than analog goggles. So yeah, that was a bit much. Other than that, the VRX is amazing, and like if you get the VRX now, you'll find a use for it. My HD0 VRX is now the HD0 setup that pipes into these live streams. So having that VRX is really handy. You can hook it up to a monitor, you can hook it up to your computer, whatever. Give ride-alongs to people with it. So yeah, that's kind of cool. There's my thoughts. Four Eyes FPV says, what whoop charger do you use? I have two of these excellent little Vifly whoopsters. I think this is the version 2. The version 3 is also really good. But, like, there's really nothing about the version 3 that's that much better that it makes sense for me to change. So, yeah, the V2 is totally fine for me. I have no qualms about it whatsoever. But, yeah, the Vifly Whoopster chargers are amazing. You need to have one. They are awesome. All right. Here we go, Pac-Man. Let's set up one of these iFlight rigs. Let's do the little whoop chasing jibbo jabbo first. So this is gonna be, I think these have been flown before, but I'm gonna pretty much update these to the latest version of Betaflight, and so I don't think I'm going to. Save anything. I think I'm going to do it like a fresh install, and so you guys will get to see the little tips and tricks that I use when I set up Betaflight. I mean, it's mainly like I add a little bit of stick smoothing in, and then you'll get to see like my rates and sort of what my strategy is with the filters and whatnot. But yeah, here you go, friends. So let's see what version it's on. It's on 4.4.2. And yeah, this has been set up before. So, all right. So one of the first things I do is I come in here and I go into configuration and I take a look at the PID loop frequency. If you see 3.2K, that means that it is a BMI 270 gyro. The other way that you can figure that out is to go into the CLI and type status. So if you go in there and it says 4K or 8K, then you actually don't know what the gyro is. So then you have to do this. Come to the CLI, type status, S-T-A-T-U-S, right here. This is what I typed. And then it gives me all this shit. And what you're looking for is right here, gyro, BMI 270, just like I said. You want to know what the gyro is for some of the tuning stuff. So BMI 270, that is a gyro that loves additional filtering, and it loves for you to listen to the genius that is Brandon's Baked Beans. And I am just scrolling up to his magical filter setup in our Discord messages. Okay, so we're going to update this to 0.5. And so we're going to do auto detect, iFlight F4 SX 1280, 4.5.1. Great. Load firmware online. Flash firmware. I am going to create a backup just in case something doesn't work here. I'm probably not going to use this backup though. I'm just going to throw it on the desktop, and it's there if I need it. I probably won't though. It's a good idea to do every single time you update flight firmware, just in case there's something weird that's baked in. That only really usually happens in that only typically happens in bind and flies. If you just buy an AIO, more often than not, when you reflash it, like I just did, hit auto detect and then pick the new version, it's just gonna update it. It's gonna have the same set of defaults. So you're usually pretty safe doing this. But with a bind and fly, just don't update it. You bought it as a bind and fly, bind it, and fly it. And then someday, when it explodes, replace it. But updating a bind and fly doesn't really make any sense, especially because Betaflight hasn't gotten drastically better in a while. The most recent couple of releases have not had like major things that make it fly a lot better. And that's a good thing, because that means that if you get a bind and fly over the last like 2 years, you can just bind it and fly it. So take advantage of that. This is an example of where that backup might help us, because this has nothing. This has no video transmitter stuff dialed in. So let's do this. I'm going to go to presets, and I'm going to go to load backup, and I just kind of want to see. I just want to see if it changes that ports tab. So here's the backup. It's going to, all it really is a CLI dump. It's going to drop this in, and I might end up going back and yeah, see? So UART2, Serial RX, and then TBS Smart Audio on UART1. All right, so I'm actually going to re-flash this to wipe all that stuff out, load firmware online. Yeah, that's the only stuff I really care about, flash firmware. And I already have that backup, so I'm going to ignore the risk. That right there is exactly why you save a backup every single time. There's no reason not to. It gives you that warning, even if you forget it, just do it. Metal Dirtskin says, BMI 270 is a gyro that loves to come poorly calibrated from the factory, or so say the BF devs. I mean, that's okay. The gyro calibrates every time you turn it on. Every time you put power to it. That's what that little pause will be sometimes when you are waiting for your quad to get ready to fly when you first power it up. I've actually, now that I've been using Brandon's filtering setup, I've had really good luck with the BMI 270. Really good luck, as a matter of fact. And so now let's just calibrate this guy one more time. This is the accelerometer that I'm calibrating. And so now in the ports tab, I can just do what I just saw. I think it was that. I think UART2 was Serial RX. So we're going to save and reboot. Okay, and now we're going to keep going. So that was the ports tab. Make sure it saved. It did indeed. Hopefully I remember those being in the right spots. Didn't reverse them in my big silly brain. Craft name, maximum arming angle, 180 to turn that off. Air mode is permanently on. That's fine. LED strip is on. It doesn't really need to be, so let's turn it off. And the OSD is on. That's great. D-Shot beacon configuration. Turn this on. This is your ESC beeper. And leave everything else alone. I did not check if the gyro is set up properly. We're going to do that right now. So we're going to hold this thing, and we're going to go nose down. Whoa, that's a big delay. Nose down, nose up, roll left, roll right, yaw left, yaw right. Oh, the yaw's not working. Oh, no, that's interesting. Oh, this thing is acting strange. The yaw's not working when it's level. But then here's what's interesting. If I put it on its side, it is picking up some yaw. What? That ain't gonna fly right like that. 3.2, 180. Is it on D-Shot 600 or something weird? Bidirectional D-Shot is turned off. We're gonna turn that on. 12 murder pulls, save and reboot. Interesting. All right. Oh man, there's no VTX table in here. What a kick in the dick. We have it in the CLI backup. I'll show you how to kind of do that in a minute. Power and battery, we're going to leave this all alone. I might as well set that in there. Actually, no, we're going to drop this down a point. 3.5, 3.4. There we go. Save that. Fail safe, it's just a tiny whoop, so we're going to move it up to 3 seconds. No big deal there. It's still trying to calibrate the gyro. Very cool. Good catch. You got to leave it. There we go. Good call, fellas. Yeah, you got to leave it. You got to not move it around for the gyro to calibrate. And I was whopping it all around. Come in here, search for clean. 4.5 filter settings for clean build with RPM filtering. That's what we want. We're going to pick it. Save and reboot. And then we're going to go back in there. And we're going to search for 250. Express ELRS 250 Hertz. Great. I like HD Freestyle. HD Freestyle adds some stick smoothing, but it doesn't add a ton. And then just pick. I don't use any of those other options in there. Save and reboot. Great. Connect again. Now we're done with presets. We can come into PID tuning. On a rig that I'm pretty sure is going to be somewhat somewhat clean. I'll move the damping slider up to 1.3 and leave the tracking slider at 1. Stick response, I turn the feed forward down because it makes it super jittery. Dmax, I turn up to 1.2. I find that it does a really good job eating prop wash. iGain doesn't really make a difference, but recently I've been turning it down to 0.8 and it seems fine. Pitch damping is going to go up to 1.1. We've got more weight on the pitch axis than the roll axis. Other than that, we're good. iTerm relax, move that cutoff down to 10 for freestyle. Dynamic damping, I mean, you could pretty much just leave it alone. I just kind of do this to have round numbers. It makes me feel better. VBAT sag compensation, turn that on for sure. Thrust linearization, in my opinion, turn that on, but turn it down to 10. Motor output limit we do not need. Dynamic idle we do not use on 1S. It can hurt the ESC, apparently. There you go. This is my starting point, usually. Rates. Feel free to try my rates, but don't stick with them. Develop your own. If you use someone else's rates, use that as a learning experience. Do not stick with their rates. See what their rates do differently. Use it as a way of understanding what these numbers mean, and then figure out your own. The amount of throttle expo. This is a rig that won't need much, but it is a cinematic rig. I'm going to do 0.3 as the amount of expo. The midpoint, I have no idea where it's going to be, so I'm just kind of taking a guess. All right, filter settings. This is where some of Brandon's magic kind of comes in. Gyro slider off. You're going to use low pass 2, but you're going to make it a PT2, and you're going to drop it all the way down to 135. Very, very low, but PTU is faster. PT2 is faster. And lighter is a word that probably doesn't make much sense there, but hey. For some reason, this is off. What the hell is that about? Turn this on. And we're going to move this D term up to 1.2. That tends to be pretty safe to do that. Max frequency, I'm going to move up to 800. These are somewhat high kV motors, but it's probably all right at 600. And then the gyro RPM filter turning down to 1 harmonic for plastic frames. Last but not least, we got to do something fancy in the CLI, which is going to be setting the gyro hardware low-pass filter to option 2. I'm going to copy and paste that into the chat. There you go. So we're going to do that. Set gyro hardware low-pass filter to option 2. Basically, we are making the gyro's built-in filtering less aggressive, and then we're doing more aggressive filtering with that PT2 low-pass 2 gyro filter. Got it? And then type save to save that. One simple change, and that's it. That is Brandon's magical BMI 270 filtering setup, and my God, has it been working well for me and him. He puts it on all kinds of different rigs and absolutely loves it. Couple of simple things here. A little bit of deadband. Let's save it. And look at that. We have a bind receiver button. This should be on ELRS 3.0. Let's hit the bind receiver button. And Brandon says, this guy's spilling the beans on my tricks. Bind mode. Press to send bind request. Let's see if it's bound. Oh, don't tell me it's Betaflight 2.5. No. Come on now. Don't do that to me. I assumed that if I updated to 4.5.1, it would be ELRS 3.0. Is that not a safe assumption? About to find out. This is now the ELRS 2.5 receiver, and I'm telling it to bind. The AIO just might not be in bind mode. Hopefully that's what it is. Hopefully I have to plug and unplug it 3 times. All right, this is good. It's not binding. Good. All right, putting the ELRS 3.0 module back in, pulling power, and now I'm just going to plug and unplug this thing 3 times, which will hopefully put it into bind mode. Let's see. Let me get the module into the bind thing. Right, here we go. So plug in once, plug in twice, plug in 3 times. All right, press to send bind request, binding, listen for the beep. Give me the beep. Beep, you bastard. Please beep. Oh, you bastard. Why is that not working? Let's plug it back into Betaflight and try that bind button in the receiver tab again. All right, let's see here. See what's happening. This thing is hot. Bind receiver. I hit the button. Pressing to send bind request. Come on, man. Bind, you bastard. Bind. Oh, why? Why you do this to me? I think that because this was previously bound, I believe that's why it's giving me problems. Oh, here we go. The ELRS configurator nightmare begins. Where'd it go? There it is. Can you launch for me? iFlight F4 SX 1280. Oh man, this ought to be interesting. Serial UART crossfire. I still got to set the rest of this stuff up, but I really need to get it bound. I mean, there is a chance that I did these backwards. Let me try to reverse this. Maybe I did this backwards. Before I go down this rabbit hole. Let me just try this real quick. Let's just try this real fast, like. All right, bind receiver, bind request sent, bind mode, press to send. Nah, of course that won't help. And it does say via UART, so that should be fine. Let me try plugging and unplugging it 3 times. One more time, just to be totally sure. Plug once, plug twice, plug 3 times. Once I get one of these set up, the rest of them will be easy. But getting this first one set up is, of course, going to be a pain in the ass. In theory, it's in bind mode right now, but it's not. Wait, maybe there's a bind button on this. Oh my god, there's a bind button, you bastards! Let's just try tapping the bind button. Nothing happened. Let's try holding it. Oops. What? I thought I was holding it, but apparently I wasn't. Come on! There we go. I'm holding it now. Alright, last ditch effort. I'm going to try to hold that button while I plug the battery in. Which is always fun. Ugh! Jesus. Okay. Holding the button. Holding the battery. Ah! Holding the button. Plugging in the battery. There we go. Nope. That doesn't do it. Is there another bind button on it? Is this the DFU button? And then there's a bind button somewhere else? Oh! I held the bind button and it gave me a little bit of a reaction there. Hold on. Whoops. Oh. Good call. I've got the ports tab wrong now. Yeah. Good call. At this point, we could load that back up again and double check the ports tab, but also check on CRSF versus SPI. But it's not SPI. It's not SPI because the ports tab was set up the way the ports tab was set up. So let's take this back to the way it was. Save and reboot. All right, and now we're going to use the button. We can also do this. iFlight Blitz ELRS binding. bind. Blitz. Here we go. I bet you this will have it somewhere in here. Nope. Wait. Downloads. Might be in here. Might be in here. Okay, let's see. Nope. Wait. Talks about VTX. All right, it does show that UART2. Okay, yeah, it shows that I've got it set up correctly now. I didn't a minute ago. So that's good. Right? Yeah, the bottom serial RX needs to be set. Let me just make sure. Ports. Yeah, good. Okay, so now we're set up properly. All right, so let me put power to it again, and I'm going to hit the bind button, what I think is the bind button, and we'll see what happens. So hit it and hold it, and it goes from like solid flashing red to like a quick triple flash. There's a chance that that's it going into bind mode. I don't think so, though. Let me try it again. Hold the button. And like I'm actually holding the button this time. Interesting. And by interesting, I mean infuriating. Let me try one more time holding the bind button while I plug the battery in, and then we will try something else. Come on. All right, here we go. Hold the button. Plug the battery in. Still holding the button. Still holding the button. Releasing the button. It's now in DFU mode. Damn it! Yeah, it won't let go of the previous bind that it has, I believe is what's going on. I can't check the Lua because I'm not bound to it. You know what I mean? Page, SD card, tools, global functions, trainer, hardware, version. No SD card. Well, I can wait for it to go into Wi-Fi mode, but I've never had luck with that. Did the goddamn ELRS configurator finally open? It did indeed. Let's check this. Let's try to update Express LRS. I haven't done this in forever. So let's see if we can update it to 3.4.3 would be awesome. Target, device category. Oh boy. iFlight 2.4. Yes. Device. No. I guess it would be this. I guess it would be just their plain old RX. All right, we are going to try Betaflight pass-through. See, look, I use binding phrases. Not usually, but sometimes. ISM and not EU, great. And Let's see what that does. Let's see what happens. No red text so far. Build error, great. Let's retry it. It said, cannot detect something blindly flashing. Yeah, no, this is fucked up. Okay. Well, ELRS can go to hell. Betaflight pass through UART, USB port. Yeah, Wi-Fi hasn't been working for me forever. Auto Wi-Fi value 60, binding phrase, regulatory. Okay, it is a receiver. I don't know. Maybe my configurator's too old. I'm sure it's not, but hold on. Let me take a look at this dump here and see if this will tip me off to anything. RxSPI serial. No. All right. Let me do something here. I'm going to connect. Oh, well, it would help if I plugged it in, eh? So let's see if I put the backup back onto it, if it will work. So we're going to go to presets, and we're going to go to load backup. And this is going to wipe out everything I just did, but it's okay. It didn't take very long. All right, so this is putting the backup back on it. Let's see what's happening. All right, connect. Receiver. Turn the transmitter back on. We do have the bind receiver button. Hey, look at this. Look at this. This is, all right, we're getting somewhere. Hold on. Hold on. I think I know what I'm going to do, but just give me 1 second. Bind mode. Bind receiver. Press it. Yeah, there we go. Okay. All right. So this is a good example why you don't just flash everything. Something weird going on with this one gimbal a second ago, but now it's fine. That was weird. Okay. So here's the deal. I'm going to do all my setup shit on this, and then I'm going to create another backup, and then I'm going to be good to go. Wait, no, I don't even have to do that. I'm fine now. So I don't know why the throttle's I don't know why these are jumping around like that. Oh, well, now it's not bound anymore. What the fuck just happened? Let's try disconnecting and reconnect. What the what just happened? Oh, it lost. What? Why is it not bound anymore? Let's try again. That's weird. Press to send bind request, binding. All right, we're back. That was odd. Huh. Seems to be fine now, though. All's well that ends well. We're going to save and put a a little bit of deadband in here. Save it. Okay, cool. So we're just going to redo all the things that I just did. That was weird. There's something buried in the setup of this rig that is not in the target that you get when you update the firmware. And while that is super annoying, it's the exact reason why you should not always just bind stuff. Sorry, update stuff. Sometimes just leave it the hell alone and fly it. Let's turn OSD on. Air mode's permanently on, that's fine. Let's turn our beeper on, that's great. Save and reboot. Okay. Connect. Let's make sure nose down, nose up, roll left, roll right, yaw left, yaw right. Great. So configuration is all set. Power and battery. I'm 3.4. Wait, what? Shouldn't. How are they? Wait, what? 3.4 and 3.2. Minimum and warning. That's fine. My brain is not braining right now. Failsafe, 3 seconds. For a tiny whoop. Relax. Oh, that's the battery going dead. All right, hold on. Just hold on, transmitter. Oh, fuck it. I'll turn it off. Presets. We want the 250, and we're gonna put it to HD Freestyle. That's gonna add some stick smoothing. Save and reboot. And then we're gonna have to redo the filtering. So we're gonna search for clean. 4.5 filter settings for clean build with RPM filtering. Pick. Save and reboot. We are gonna have to go into the ESC configurator, but that's you know what? Let's do it right now. ESCconfigurator.com, and then we give this thing power, and then we're gonna go connect and read settings, and it's on BlueJay 0.16 48 kilohertz, so that is fantastic. This is already on medium. We're gonna turn the beacon volume up a little bit. We're gonna change this to 2 minutes. Brake on stop just for safety, although it's really not that much safer. And right changes. Good to go. We didn't really have to go in there. We were already set. Motors, let's get them spinning in the right direction since we do have a battery plugged in right now. Wizard, start and spin. And the ESC resets. There it goes. Motor 1 is wrong. Motor 2 is right. Motor 3 is right. Motor 4 is wrong. Let's see if they will actually reverse. They will not. Yet another rig that this does not work in here. Why? Why? It worked very consistently for like a year, and now all of a sudden, I feel like more rigs than less, that does not work. What did I say? 1 and 4 were reversed. So 1, 4, right settings. I mean, like, that wasn't very hard, but still, it's. I don't understand why it was working and now it's not. That seems absolutely insane to me. But welcome to FPV. Nothing makes any sense ever. Motor 1 is now correct. Motor 2 is correct. Motor 3 is correct. Motor 4 is correct. Happy days! This is set up for props in. Bidirectional D-Shot is turned on. D-Shot 300, 12 motor poles. Great. We can unplug the battery now. And come back in here to PID tuning. We're going to get this dialed back in to the way that I like it. Stick response down to 0.5. D-Max up to 1.2. I-term to 0.8. Pitch damping 1.1 on both sliders. And then master multiplier down at 1.0. Dynamic idle, we're going to 0 because we don't want to use that. Thrust linearization, we want to go down to 10. VBAT, sag, we'll turn that on. 30 and 30 for the dynamic damping. No worries about that. iTerm relax was turned off. That's super weird. Definitely don't want that. Everything else looks okay. 100% motor. Limit. Drop my rates in here. What if those were my actual rates? 2,000. Throttle mid, I'm going to take a guess at 0.35. And then the amount of expo, I'm going to take a guess at 0.30. And now I'm going to have to redo all of Brandon's magical settings. So turn this off. That slider is now turned off. So we're going to go to PT2 at 135. One harmonic on the gyro RPM filtering. Probably turn this Q factor up a little bit. Okay. All right, that is now good to go. We also need to go into the CLI and change the hardware filtering. All right, there's that. And so now our filters are all set. I think we're good in PID tuning. Yep, we're good in PID tuning. Receiver, we're now good in as well. I got the deadband. I got the smoothing set up in there. Great. Modes. We want arm. Oh, this is not turned on. Wait, no. I just have to power this up. Let's actually make sure. Let's make sure that this binds. Because it was acting a little bit weird in that receiver tab. Oh, what the hell? Why is it not binding? Oh, come on, dude. What are you doing? Why are you not binding? What the fuck? Hold on. Let me unplug and replug. Oh, dude. What? Why? Why is it not binding? It's not remembering the bind, basically. What the hell's that about? Like, I come in here and bind it, and then it... Oh my god, I can't handle it. I can't handle that goddamn beeping. Oh, now it won't bind again. But wait, this is on... This moved to CR... What the hell? What the hell happened? You guys saw it bind a minute ago, right? I have to change the battery. That beeping is gonna drive me to drink. Okay. Why is it doing that? It was on ELRS, which would mean that it's SPI based. But then it... What the hell just happened? Why did that... What is going on with this? Oh, Express LRS. I know you're trying to make it easier, but boy, you are not there yet, that's for sure. Throw another battery at this transmitter here. In 8 minutes, Super Deluxe and Spider Sugar go live. You should go hang out with them. I'm gonna keep going here. I gotta at least get one of these things up and running. I'm absolutely blown away that I feel like we got nothing done tonight. I feel like I've let you all down. I mean, I guess you got to see me struggle, though. Maybe that's got some value. Seeing a man that's supposed to know things still not be able to figure Express LRS out, because every single time I use Express LRS, it's different than the previous time. Like, it's this constantly moving goalpost. which is infuriating beyond the bounds of rational thought. Okay, so let's try this again. I mean, it should be UART based, right? Because I'm setting the because in the ports tab we're telling it. Oh wait, no. Yeah, well, it should. What the hell? All right, hold on. If I go to SPI, save and reboot, is it still bound from a minute ago? Maybe. Is it just because it's changing that? No. No. Hold up. All right. There we go. So now we're bound again. Look at the yaw acting weird. I'm holding the yaw in the same spot. Ooh, it's burning my leg. This gimbal is acting a little funny, man. I don't know what the deal is with this. I think I need to replace both of these gimbals. Look at the yaw gimbal jittering around. Look at the yaw gimbal jittering around. What the hell's that about? I should not be doing that. The right gimbal on this transmitter is messed up. Apparently the left gimbal is screwed up as well. What the hell's that about? There's like crosstalk between the axes of the left gimbal. Wow, yeah, I need to change both of these gimbals. I'm holding full left yaw and I'm going throttle up and throttle down. And look at the yaw moving around. Let's see if it does that at zero. Oh, it does it at zero throttle too. Well, I'm glad I figured that out. That's kind of important. Okay. So in theory, now it'll stay bound for more than 14 seconds, hopefully. Nope, it's already not bound anymore. What the hell is going on here? Why is it... What the fuck? Oh my god. Why does it always have to be this hard? Yeah, it's not bound anymore. Hold on. Is that what's resetting it every time? No. Well, let's hold on. Okay. All right. We're bound again. Save. Save. It's when I hit... Oh. I remember this. I remember this bug. Okay. Check this out. Check out how horrible everything is in FPV all the time. Right? So it's now... You just watched me bind it, and then I clicked save, and now it's not bound anymore. Right? I'll cycle power just to show it to you. All right. Put power to it again. Here we go. Connect back up. And it's still not bound, right? For some reason, when I hit save, it lost the bind. Watch this. Watch how awful FPV is. For I don't know what reason, this only happens every once in a while. You have to click bind receiver. Then you have to bind it on your transmitter or whatever. Right? Binding. Now it's bound, right? We've got movement. Great. You cannot click save. I have no idea why. You have to click refresh. Refresh first, and then save. And now, for whatever reason, it will remember the bind. Ready? We're going to disconnect. We're going to power it back on. Plug it back in. I turned off the serial RX. It didn't help. It didn't do anything. It's this weird, and see, now it's bound again. It's this super weird, buggy-ass shit where for some reason you have to hit refresh and then save. I've covered, this has happened to me twice before. This is a perfect example of ELRS being a total pain in the ass, like all the time. This doesn't happen on Crossfire. This never happened on FR Sky. This is a new, completely impossible for new people to figure out ever thing that has been introduced with ELRS. So add it to the list of things that make Express LRS a total pain in the ass. I absolutely love that the devs have said that they're going to try to make it easier, but they ain't there yet. That's for goddamn sure. Who the fuck would ever think that you would need to hit refresh before you hit save? I don't know how the hell I figured that out, but yeah, there you go. Good luck. You're going to need it with the ELRS. I got to figure this gimbal thing out, man. This crosstalk is bad between yaw and throttle. That's nasty stuff. Whew, is that weird? Okay, finally we are now bound. And I can set some other stuff up. Angle, turn that off. Horizon, turn that on. Aux 2. Switch position all the way up. Away from me. This is a switch that I hit if I lose video. Beeper, aux 3. Switch position all the way down. Flip over after crash. Aux 3 in the middle switch position. Launch control for fun. Aux 2 in the middle. And I don't think it has black box. It does not have black box. Modes are now set. Adjustments. I have a pretty cool little kind of setup here to change OSD profiles. There we go with that. Motors we already set up. We're good there. OSD I'm going to grab from... Oh, well, here we go. I got... I'll put crash recovery on here as well. All right, there's my little crash recovery thing. Great. And then here's my analog OSD. I got a little sticky note in the bottom left of my screen, which is being hidden here under my big silly face. There's my OSD setup. Type save. Now we're good. Reconnect. OSD, just to check it. Yeah, looking good. Craft name, link quality, great. Timer 1, timer 2, warnings, awesome. Post-flight stats, we want timer 1 instead of timer 2. Speed maximum will turn off. RSSI minimum is great. Link quality minimum is also great. G-force maximum is super fun. ESC temperature maximum is also a good one. ESC RPM maximum is a great one. Turn off these 2 black boxes. Battery voltage minimum is a great one. Current battery voltage is a great one. And that's a good place to stop. Video transmitter, race band 8, 25 million watts. On until first arm. Save. And that's it, friends. That's a full Betaflight setup. So now, what I can do is go into the presets. And I already got rid of that backup, so we're going to save backup. This is now set up in 4.5 perfectly. Here's the backup. Always look at the backup to make sure that there's stuff in here. All right, which there is. And so now, this iFlight Blitz rig is set up. I can just hot swap the other 3 on. And watch this. Since it's the same AIO... I might shift the PIDs around a little bit, but it's the same AIO, so what I can do, just out of curiosity, what version is this on? This is on version 4.3. Doesn't matter. Update firmware, auto detect, 4.5.1. I'm now going to put the same version of the flight firmware onto all 3 of these. Don't create the backup, just ignore it. I kind of should have flown... Well, here, let's do it real quick. Let's make sure this thing flies with the current setup before we go dumping it on other rigs. But it should. It should fly totally fine. All right, and here we go. Get this battery plugged in. This battery lead's a little short. I'm gonna need to flip this camera upside down, I think. Because, yeah, this battery lead's a little too short for the camera being down low. Actually, this will give me a bunch of up tilt, which is kind of nice. Do we have video? Not yet, but we might in a second. Okay, this other rig is done updating to 4.5. Let me turn on the regular VRX. Hey, look at that. And I don't have OSD, though. OSD might be a PAL NTSC problem. Let's figure that out real quick before I go putting that back up onto the rest of these. If you're going to do this, right, you got to make sure that the rig that you're using the backup from is good to go. Thrash says, want me to send you an ELRS troubleshooting workflow chart? No, I'm good. I've dealt with ELRS for literally years now. I have a mental workflow sort of in my head, but I appreciate that. Okay, so let's figure out what the hell's going on with the OSD. First thing to check, easiest thing to check, is NTSC versus PAL. Oh, it's on HD, so that ain't gonna work. All right, so that is now fixed. I wonder if I can see it pop up in here. Save. No, not yet. Let's cycle power, and then maybe maybe it'll come up. Hey, look at that. CPU overload. That was interesting. All right, so we've got OSD now, which is thrilling. Okay, that is something that's set wrong in here. Where is that? OSD profile 2, width, height. I gotta update my that's happened to me before. I have this little chunk of CLI text for my analog OSD. Okay, now that that's fixed, I'm gonna create another backup. I mean, that's a pretty easy fix, but I'm gonna do this to a couple of quads in a row. So let's get rid of this backup, and we'll connect, and it'll just take a second to come in here and save backup. All right, good to go. And then actually, you know what I can do is open this up in text editor and grab the OSD stuff and just replace my, all the beeps and boops. So here's all the OSD stuff, canvas height, debug mode, all that jazz. So we're going to go to copy, and there's no other OSD stuff buried in here, right? Nope. So copy that, and oops. And I'm just going to replace that in my little sticky note that you can't see, but it is here, I promise you. All right. So that is all now. That's all better. Although I did accidentally just delete that section, so I got to do this one more time. Presets, save backup. Okay, good to go. Save. And now if I go here, hey, we've got OSD. All right, cool. So this rig is now all set. We might as well fly it real quick. I did say we were going to do 6 batteries tonight. It is already after 9 o'clock. I am now officially on Spider Sugar and or Super Deluxe's time slot. So go get you some of them. You can hang out here if you want, but it is my duty to inform you that those fellas are doing their thing now. All right. So yeah, this camera mount needs to get flipped upside down, which is fine. I can handle that. Let's see how this thing flies with all the setups that we just did. These are 702 32,000 kV motors. This is a little RC drift car chasing rig, but with a little bit of up tilt. Flies really good. It's got one of these wide angle, it's also in horizon mode. It's got one of these wide angle pinch cams on it, which are a little bit hard to kind of fly, but, oh my god, Azalea's getting the dog. Oh god, why is this happening to me? Get him some more, Azalea! Get him! No, Teddy, don't eat the quad. Maggie, get him. Get him. Get that doggy. What's Azalea up to over here? What are you doing? What are you eating? You eating, little boo? She's gonna hit me. She's gonna hit me. I knew it. Look how low we're hovering. Down at 20. The throttle resolution feels terrible. So I need to fix it! That. Uh-oh. We good. I need to fix that. It's really hard to fly with the throttle like this at the moment. I'll tell you what! This Batwing mount with a little bit of up tilt is really nice. So let's go into rates. And the Expo amount is 30, but the midpoint is way too high. Let's bring the midpoint down to 25. That'll probably be about right. And now we're going to go back up in the air, and we're just going to keep an eye on the throttle value off on the right there. 25, 23, 23, 27, 26. So that's good. We're at 25. That's right in between. Let's go back upstairs. Wow, this super wide angle camera makes the house look different. It makes the house look like, I don't know, there's like more trapezoids in some weird way. Can I get under there? You think he'll let me? Oh! Shot the Teddy gap! I've only done that one other time. I really want to power loop him, but I know he won't let me. 32,000 kV 702s make great power, of course. Whoa, boy! This thing flies different. Can't quite put my finger on why. I typically don't. Yeah, like that gate. Look how oval this gate looks. Look how oval that is. Isn't that wild? This flies great, man. Hey! Whoa, boy. Yeah, this flies, like, totally fine for a little art. The little RC drift car chasing rigs, like, I have so much expo in them. I have them so specifically set up for chasing little RC drift cars that, like, I never fly them free. And I don't want to bang them up, so I never really fly them freestyle. But, like, they're fine. This is fine. Man, there's a lot. It's really excited on the yaw axis, though. It's a very excitable little boy on the yaw axis. What's happening with that? Why is there so much yaw pit authority? I guess it's just because the weight is spread out on the pitch axis quite a bit, with the camera pushed all the way up front. So there's not a whole hell of a lot you can do about that. Flies good, though. Shit. Nothing wrong with that. A little bit of up tilt being put on from the battery. I'll show you what's going on with that. So the battery sits far forward enough where it's pushing on the bottom of the camera. See it there? So I need to flip this camera mount upside down, and that'll move the camera up and get it out of the way of the battery. So yeah. Or, I mean, technically I could flip this thing around, but then I'd have to like redo everything. That would be super annoying. I could absolutely do that, though. that would help. Well, actually, the CG is not too bad right now. Like, I can get this to balance. I don't think I actually need to do that. Yeah, so what I think is happening is that with this extra weight of the camera and the TPU up front, when this thing goes to yaw, it's not yawing as quickly as it wants, and so it's working really hard to yaw, and then it's got the extra momentum, and so when you have all the weight centralized, very quickly it will yaw and stop yawing, and it will use both two motors accelerating and two motors braking. When you start to spread weight out on the pitch axis, it can't yaw as quickly anymore, and it's going to run out of braking force. The motors make lots of thrust, but they don't make lots of braking. And so what you'll notice is when you have a really centralized rig, the yaw is really snappy and you barely gain any altitude because it doesn't have to do a lot of work, and it can kind of split it. It can split it between thrust and braking. When you make it work harder on the yaw axis, it runs out of braking, and then it adds more and more and more thrust to get the yaw done, and that's what makes it jump up in the air. So yeah, that's the difference with this rig having the camera forward. Most rigs that I build have the camera in the middle, and so the weight is very centralized, and so it will yaw a lot cleaner and a lot more crisply. But yeah, I don't usually notice that with the RC drift car chasing rigs because I don't fly them hard. I don't hammer the yaw. I'm doing chasing stuff, and so yeah, that's kind of interesting that that's so noticeable. And I think by setting this up so that I can put the battery in backwards, I think it would actually make that situation even worse, because it would be further spreading to try to fix the front and rear CG. I would be putting more weight rearwards, which is going to further split the weight on the pitch axis, right? Like, it's going to be like holding your arms all the way out. Right now, it's holding one arm all the way out, and the other arm it's holding in like this. If I set it up to fix this CG situation, it's holding both arms out, it's going to make the yaw situation even worse. So I think what I'm going to do is just flip the camera mount. That'll give the battery room to not hit it. And then, yeah, the situation won't be quite as bad. I could do both of those things at the same time, but then this antenna is going to be going out the front. That's going to be kind of stupid. No, this is fine. I can leave it like this. And then, well, you know what? No. I'm going to do it the other way. I'm going to experiment with this. I'm going to flip the camera upside down, and then I'm going to set the battery up to go rearwards, because now that I think about it, the battery is going to sit where the battery is going to sit. And it might as well sit with the weight facing backwards, because in terms of spreading the weight on the pitch axis, it's not going to be any different. So yeah, I'm actually going to tear this apart and kind of completely rebuild it, because this video wire is going to have to get shortened. Yeah, that's a little bit annoying, but it'll be a better rig for it once I'm done. Okay. This guy here had the software updated. Now I'm just going to drop that CLI backup onto it, and it'll be like 99% set up. And here's what that looks like. Plug it in, connect. That's fine. Presets, it's going to actually bring over the thing from the thing. Load backup, and then point it at that backup on your desktop, open, and away it goes. And now, if there's any red text that you would normally be seeing in the CLI, it'll tell you here, but there wasn't, so that's good to go. connect, and then we'll just take a super quick look at it. We probably still need to bind it. And I do fly and custom tune all these rigs before they go out. So yeah, it is not bound. So we're going to hit bind receiver here, and then in here, bind mode, binding, and there we go. It is now bound, and everything else is set up. Stick low thread. Oh, that's weird. It didn't pull this over. That's super weird. Why would it not? It remembered the dead band, but it didn't. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, yeah, okay. I just hit save. Well, let's see. Let's see. Freaking Regan says, how long did it take you to learn all of this? 8 years, my friend. I learned it quicker than 8 years, but I'm constantly learning new stuff with this. Like this infinitely infuriating refresh/save thing. Although, for whatever reason, I didn't need to do that just now. It rebound without me having to hit refresh and save. Which is weird. Admittedly. I don't really have an explanation for that. But everything else is set up. We're now good to go. This is a 75mm motor-to-motor rig, so it is going to be a little bit different. The motors are probably not spinning in the right direction. We might as well check that. I don't even have a camera on this rig right now, though, so I mean, it's got some work that needs to be done, but just for the sake of in here. Oh, no, oh, you know what? I do not have an antenna plugged into this VTX, so I'm going to unplug it right away. And it's just going to chill over there. There are two more that needs to get done on, but I'm not going to make you watch that. That's silly. Well, let's fly this one, though. Hold on. We'll do this one super quick, and then we'll fly it real fast. Although, I do want to plug back into this and make sure that those endpoints were set properly. So, hang on 1 second here. This was a hell of a Betaflight heavy live stream, but sometimes it's just like that. Oh, yeah, look. The stick high and low thresholds didn't get set. Didn't get saved. That's super odd. Alright, now they are, though. And so now we can go back into presets one more time. Save it back up. Awesome. Okay, so this one's still good to go. This little freestyle build on the 36,000 kV motors is being plugged in. And then we're going to come up here to update firmware. Auto detect. What? Why won't it? What? Hold on. Let's quit out of the configurator and launch back in. Yeah, FPV is kind of like a forever learning thing. If at some point you ever know it all, some other company or designer or whatever will come up with something else that's different. What the hell is going on here? Why won't iFlight F411 RX 1280? Yeah, firmware 4.3. Yeah, what's your deal? Why can't it? What? Perfect example right now. Why? These boards are all exactly the same, and yet this one just doesn't work right. iFlight F4SX 1280. iFlight F4SX 1280. Okay, plugging the pain in the ass one in. iFlight F4 RX 1280. What the hell? Why? What is that about? Status to BMI 270. Is this not ELRS? No, it is. It's got a ceramic antenna. What? Okay. Well, when in doubt, you can just type in iFlight. I'm looking for the SX, right? iFlight F4 is what I'm looking for. iFlight F4 SX 1280. Here we go. iFlight F4. The current flight firmware says ESLR instead of ELRS. What the hell? Oops. iFlight F4. Where'd it go? Oh, where the hell did it go? What's happening? There it is. iFlight F4 SX 1280. Hopefully, it's this same AIO. Otherwise, I might be bricking it right now. But iFlight F4 ESLR RX is not a target that exists. So, fuck it. Ignore the risk. Connected board is iFlight F411 RX 1280, while you selected iFlight F4 SX 1280. Do you want to continue flashing? Yes, I want to potentially brick this. JMPFPV says, what do you think about desoldering wick? It is the only way to remove solder without potentially hurting the board. The desoldering pump things smash down into the board, and they're a great way to lift a pad. The wick is the way that you want to remove solder. It is an essential tool if you're going to be soldering. Just Mo says, how do I learn PID tuning better? Also, where do I learn more about blackbox? So I can teach you quite a bit about PID tuning. I try to talk about it on the live streams as much as I can, so you can learn a bunch by just watching these streams. Or if you want to really learn a lot, we can set up a half an hour, an hour-long phone call, and I can really dive in one-on-one with you to teach you a lot about it. Accelerometer seems to be working, so that's great. Although, hold on, we can just go directly into preset and load back up. And let's see what happens. Seems to be all right so far. Connect. Yeah, we're good. Great. It even... Wow! It just bound. It pulled the binding information over from the CLI. That's kind of cool. Let's accelerate the calibrometer. All right, good. Ports tab looks fine. Configuration has everything we need. Power and battery looks good. Failsafe is fine. Presets would have come over. PID tuning looks good. Okay, receiver. Yep, that's all there. Modes, great. That, great. Motor direction, do need to set that. That will not come over. Powered up. I understand the risks. The props are definitely off. Motors are having a bit of a hard time spinning up. Motor 1 is backwards. 2 is backwards. They're all backwards. Let's reverse them all. And let's see if they actually reversed. They did not. They're all spinning the wrong direction, and Betaflight refuses to reverse them. Happy days are not here at last. Connect. Read settings. G-Tonian says, I used your basic D/P. What the hell's... Oh, the transmitter is on. Which gives ESC configurator a heart attack. Oh, wow. This is still on BLHELIS. Okay, so we're going to flash all these ESCs. Hang on. Cancel. OH50. Whoa. OH50. That's interesting. OH50, huh? Let's see if we have a Blue Jay 0.16 for that. HOJKLMNO. Looks like we do. OH90. Oh my god. So we want OH50 48. There we go. And then we can come back in here, flash all ESCs, flash local firmware, and in downloads, we've got OH50 48. This is going to install Blue Jay 0.16, which in my experience is the best version of Blue Jay yet. 48 kilohertz. And away we shall go. Just Mo says, I'm asking about PID tuning because my quad makes a grinding sound when it starts up and shakes violently for the first 15 to 30 seconds of flight. Almost perfect after. Sometimes it twitches. That sounds like an overactive PID tune. With problems like that, you always just have to take a step back and go, all right, when did this start? Did this start when I stacked it into a tree at 90 miles an hour? Did this start when I was fucking around with the PIDs? If it started when you slammed it into something, it's a physical problem, right? You've physically bashed it into something. You've physically damaged the quad. Do not fix that with software. Fix it physically, right? Versus if it happened when you were screwing around with PIDs, then it's probably a PID problem, so you want to fix it by going back. So yeah, Doubles FPV says, have you tried 0.21 yet? I have. It seems okay, but 0.16 just works great. And so I kind of keep using it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of thing, right? Let's turn these guys up. Go to medium. We'll turn the startup power up just a little bit because it was having a hard time spinning the motors. Won't turn it up all the way. That's usually a bit much. Brake on stop just for safety. Not that a tiny whoop is even remotely unsafe. There we go. Connect. I think all of the motors are going to be spinning the wrong direction, but just for the sake of argument, let's take a quick look. I'm also curious if they will all spin up. They did all spin up, and they are spinning the wrong direction. Let's see if they will reverse. They will not reverse. Motor number 1 is having a hell of a time. Let's disconnect, connect, read settings, and we will reverse all of these. Right settings, and now the motors are all spinning the correct direction. All right, ESC is all set up. Motors, come in here. Oh boy. That was a big, weird delay. Hey, motors are now spinning in the correct direction. 64, 64-ish, 65, 64. Cool. Motor 1, you can hear it. It's not winding up quite as high as the other motors. Ready? I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. They sound pretty similar. That one obviously is higher pitched, so it's spinning faster. So is that one. So motors 3 and 4 are cranking a little bit harder, but I mean, that's pretty normal. The quality control on these motors is pretty poor. The motors are spinning smooth. The motor shafts are not bent. Motor 2 is hitting on something, though. What is motor 2 hitting? Where are you? What are you contacting? You little jerk. No, I can't tell. All right. That should be fine. Should be able to fly this now. 12 motor poles, bidirectional D-shots on, OSD. How are you looking? Good. NTSC, okay. The after-flight warnings are even now set up properly. Video transmitter on until first arm. Race 8, 25. Great. Perfect. Should work. Let's see. Should be a flying rig. Let's check it though. Okay. Battery is in. Transmitter coming up. Hey, we've got video. That's a good sign. Goggles going on. Let's see how it flies. So now we're up to 36,000 kV motors. Oh, it's not bound. Did I not? Oh, no. I just got to turn the transmitter on. That'll help. And it is bound. It's just not connected. Now it's connected. Woo! It flies really good right out of the box. Hey, unfortunately, I don't fly very good right out of the box. All right, so there's a huge... This is what I'm talking about with yaw. See how snappy this yaw is? This is a rig with the weight more centralized. You know, it's interesting. I can actually tell. I can tell that this board has a VTX on the back of the AIO, which has the weight not quite as centralized, versus the 2G4, which is completely symmetrical front to rear. And I'll show you how I can tell in a minute, but let's continue to harass Maggie and the dog for another couple seconds. Actually, no, let's come downstairs. So check this out. This is kind of interesting. All right, so if I come down here, and I'm just gonna whop it back and forth in the yaw. Ready? Hold on, I gotta go 0 throttle. So 0 throttle and just yaw. Still 0 throttle, right? See how I can keep it up in the air with just yaw? That's because the yaw is having to work a little bit harder from the VTX being, oh god, in the rear of the AIO. I'm gonna fly one of my normal rigs in a second, and I'm gonna do the same thing, and what you should see is that it performs a little bit different in that respect. So 0 the throttle, and now just yaw. So I can keep it up in the air. It's going down a little bit, which is good. That's what you want. You don't want it to be able to just stay up in the air on the yaw. What that means is that it's running out of braking force, and it's having to use more thrust to keep the yaw going. Oh, the mirror flip of all mirror flips. Also, this is a Runcam Nano 3. Look how round that gate looks. See how round that gate now looks? That other camera had this gate looking all oval-like. Yikes. Arm, you bastard. Yeah, man, I am not used to the yaw axis having to do this much work. Hey. Man, that gate being all trapezoid-like is a mindfuck. Oh, really? What was that noise? The 36,000 kV 702s are brilliant. What? Load? What? What's load mean? Am I not in turtle mode? Load? What the hell does that mean? Load? What's going on here? Oh, what? That was weird. PC load letter? What the fuck does that mean? That was wild. Let me check the CPU. Is that CPU load related? That was weird. All I had to do was flip out of there and arm it and disarm it. But that's interesting. I've never seen that before. Man, a whole bunch of stuff tonight that I haven't seen in 8 years of doing this. What a strange time to be alive. This battery is now done. Here, check this out. Before I forget, here's just a different rig. Here's like my, what's the most similar rig that I've got? Here's another rig on the same exact motors, but with everything centralized. So the stack, everything. There's no There's no extra little VTX. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. This camera's down. What happened here? Uh-oh. I did get really frustrated and banging on the desk a bunch last stream. Maybe I killed it. Hopefully I killed it. Piece of shit. In the rear of this, we've got that extra little VTX board there, right? And so that's weight that's not perfectly centered. It's pretty close to being perfectly centered, but yeah, that's weight that is spread a little bit more on the pitch axis. This rig that I'm about to fly does not have that situation. Good. Start beeping, goggles. I was just sitting here like, oh, you know what? The goggles haven't done in a while. Beep and make me want to scream. Stop. 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 Let's switch modules for this rig. Look at the difference in performance. This is a yaw thing, yo. Why do I have no video? Why is this happening? What? Why? Oh no, this 2G4 has a problem. That problem is that the VTX has apparently died. Wait, maybe not. That could be low power till first arm. Hold on, let's see. Nope, the VTX has died on this AIO. No! Why? See how it's popping in and out? That means it has broken. So there's like, what I'm doing right now is I'm just pushing down on the different chips that are on the AIO. And eventually I'll push on one of the chips that's related to the VTX. Yeah, see? So like as I push down on different parts, it picks up and loses video. Oh man. Yo, I've been having a lot of stuff break lately. What is the deal? Yeah, no, that's a broken AIO. God damn it. Dude! Oh. I can try to swap the VTX table on this, but it's not gonna fix it. Here's a 32,000 kV rig. Hold on. I just want to show you guys that yaw thing. It might not be super drastic, but we should at least be able to tell a difference here. A little bit of a difference. Man, look how good this camera looks. Shit. All right, so ready? Same kind of... You can already tell. I mean, look at... See how much quicker this thing is on the yaw axis? It's just more balanced. So let's go... Zero throttle. See how it drops more? It's not staying up in the air from yaw. Ready? So... Zero... I can still... see, I can almost get it. It's not a massive difference. If I compared it to the... If I compared it to the little drift car chasing setup, it would be even more obvious. But yeah, if I give it a good burst, yeah, I can still get it. But see how it's descending a little bit more quickly. So there you go, friends. That's one of the ways that you can tell how your CG is on the pitch axis. And the reason why that's important is, like, you know, if you can, you always want to try to... You always want to try to build... How's that for never giving up? You always want to try to build in a way that your center of gravity is as well balanced as possible. But if you can't do that, then it's not the end of the world. You just need to understand that and then change the tuning, possibly. Yeah, there it was. I forgot about that one. Also do it there. It works better. It works better at the top because I can really let the altitude drop and then fire it backwards through that gate. But that gate is in trapezoid mode right now, so it's no good. Oh, what you know about that, Newbie Drone Gates? I won this round. You'll certainly win the next round, though. Next round. Oh, I won 2 rounds in a row. Nope, you won this round. Okay. And you've trapped me. You've not only won this round, but you've trapped me. You bastards. Peak screws are plastic screws. I do not recommend that you use them. They will eventually break. And when they break off inside of the motor and are a motherfucker to get out of there. Oh, God. All right. Man, I'm super sad that 2G4 died. That sucks. I hate to lose a 2G4. Although they are available again, so it's not nearly as much of a nightmare when they inevitably die at this point. I was really hoping that we'd do some 2S stuff today, but we just ran out of time, yo. And I gotta take a crap, so there's only so long that I can live stream before I gotta go. I missed a ton of chat comments. I apologize for that. Sometimes I can't get to all of them. I've got some work to do, though. I've got to completely redo this build to kind of fix that front to rear weight balance. I've got to get a canopy on this and figure out what I'm doing. This guy's good to go, though. This is going to be either a live auction, or I'll just throw it up on the Etsy store. Where is this camera plugged in? Plug goes back there. I think it's plugged into the monitor, is it not? Yeah, it's plugged into the monitor. Why have you shat them? Where's my mouse pointer? What? I have no mouse. I have no mouse. My mouse is also plugged into the monitor. Oh, God. Tell me that the USB hub hasn't died on the effing monitor. Come on now. Get real. Unplugging the mouse. Unplugging the camera. Unplugging the keyboard. And now they're all plugged back in. Hopefully they're now all working. Nope, none of them work. That's a problem. Without, I don't, okay. I can't do anything without a mouse. Oh, this is brutal. What the hell happened here? What, okay. I have to try to end the stream without a mouse. How do I do that? I can't get to the chat. Okay. All I've got is the stream deck to try to end the stream. So this is going to be a little bit rough, but I don't know what else to do. The monitor is hooked up. What if I unplug the monitor? If I unplug the monitor, it's hooked up via that. I mean, I guess I can try unplugging the monitor. That's a scary proposition, though. That's the power. This is everything else. Yeah, I kind of have to. Let's see what happens when I unplug the monitor. I guess it'll shift everything to the other monitor just for a second, which might cause havoc. That's me plugging it back in. Maybe it's fine now. Maybe everything's fine now. Maybe nothing is fine. Monitor pop back up. Everything is fine now. Sometimes you just have to unplug shit and plug it back in. Hey, look at that. Yeah, so this rig is good to go. For this iFlight Blitz AIO, you can't run it with this Mobula 6 canopy unless you cut the ass off of it. But you can just cut it like that, and it almost looks factory. And then you got the room for that little VTX. And yeah, that's good to go. Very cool little build. I'm not sure what I'll do with it. Live auction versus just throwing it up on Etsy. Stick around and find out. Subscribe, click buttons, and we will hang out again on Sunday at 3 o'clock, friends. Be good. Go get you some Super Deluxe and or Spider Sugar. Sugar Spider. Chip Good with the last comment of the live stream. He says, what pad do I solder to for the wire to the VTX on the Mobula 6 2024? The Mobula 6 2024 has a built-in VTX. If you're using an external VTX, you're going to need to find video out pads. You're going to need to find a video out pad, and then you're also going to need to find RX and TX pads. If the wire antenna broke off, you should solder a new wire antenna on there. I don't know if the thing has the pads that you're going to need to do it. Typically, when they build a VTX in, they're like, well, if it breaks, you buy a new one. But yeah, if the antenna wire on a Mobula 6 2024 is hooked up to a UFL, so you should just be able to get a new antenna and just snap it on to the UFL. If the UFL broke off, you can direct solder an antenna to the pads that the UFL was on, as long as it didn't rip those pads off. If it ripped those pads off, you're shit out of luck. Hopefully, there is... the other wire is Express ELRS. And so if that wire just broke off, just solder a new wire onto that, and you'll be good to go. But I thought it had a ceramic antenna. Mobula 6 2024A. Hey, I have one of those. Yeah, copper wire is ELRS. Just solder a new one on. Get the length right. Any 2.4 gig antenna will work. So like if you have an old like FR Sky setup, you can cut the active element of that off. I actually have a couple of live streams of repairing ceramic antennas, and I talk all about it in there. Oh my god, Bot Grinder's live. Hell yeah, go get some Bot Grinder, friends. I'm definitely jumping off now. On my channel, click the little magnifying glass here and search for antenna. And fixing a broken ELRS ceramic antenna, repairing broken ELRS ceramic antenna. Use the timestamps, and we'll talk all about it in there. How you fix it. You're gonna have to do that exact same fix, basically. All right, friends, be good. Sorry I missed so many chat comments, but I was trying to get these rigs going, and they made me insane. But that's FPV. See you guys Sunday at 3 o'clock Eastern Time. CiottiFPV.com to support me. I am totally crowdfunded. You guys allow me to do this in a way that like I'm not relying on manufacturers. I'm not reviewing products like with kid gloves. If something sucks, I tell you it sucks because you pay my bills. And that way you get good stuff and you don't buy the bad stuff. So support me. Patreon is the best. But there's a whole bunch of other ways you can help me out. Go to check out the Etsy store. Lots of cool stuff. Love you. Bye. Here's another video of the 2S 1102 75mm Walksnail rig railing around the front yard. See ya.